Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here. Today is January 4th, 2017. So, again, nothing really happened today, so you guys are getting another review. But I did get a Splatoon Turf Wars recorded. So that, I believe, will be up sometime in February. I can't remember when, but it'll be up sometime in February. But, that's really it. So, the next review is Bionicle. Now, Bionicle, I was a huge fan of Bionicle back in the day when they first started. I'm talking about with Tahu, with Gali, Lewa, their original designs. That's when I got hooked on Bionicle. I kind of had a falling out once. I think it was the Legend Reborn was released. Because I loved everything about Bionicle. I loved the movies, I loved the Lego Bionicle, everything. Well, except for the Legend Reborn, because that was kind of bad and forced. But the game came out as well. I was psyched. I was so psyched. And I played it through. It's a pretty easy game overall, but it does have its issues as well. Because it's not exactly the best control-wise. It's not the best control-wise, but it still gets the job done relatively easy if you adapt to the controls. Sometimes they can be jerks with what they're doing. Sometimes they actually are pretty good with what they're doing. Now, I'm actually going to talk about the different levels since there's only 8 levels in this. Yeah, there's 8 levels. The first one with Tahu, I actually really like. The first one with Tahu is probably my favorite level in this Bionicle game. And overall, it's just the magma level. And it's very good for a basic platformer game. Then you get to the next level with Kopaka. Honestly, Kopaka's level is one of my least favorite. Because you have to slide down the slope with very bad snowboarding controls. Like worse than Sonic Adventure's snowboarding section. Which, that was kind of good, but it still lacked a little bit. Imagine that just worse. And you have to defeat a Bow-Rock, which is the boss, at the same time. And sometimes they can appear underground. So, if they're underground, you really can't do anything about it, if I recall correctly. So, you have to do those two things. You have to beat the Bow-Rock, keep up with the Bow-Rock, and under a certain time limit. So, it took me a while to get through that level when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I did not like that level whatsoever, and I still don't like it. Next up is Gali Nuva. Gali Nuva's level, if you're going for 100%, is pretty... It's not lenient at all. Because here's the water surface. And here's the floor's ocean's floor. So if the water surface is here, you would be here. And the things you need to collect are right here, and you can't adjust your altitude in the water. You can't dive into the water. You can spring up, but it puts you straight back to where you were. You can spring up, goes right back to where you were, and the thing is still down here that you need to collect. If you go for those, it's very challenging. Occasionally it's occasionally it's challenging. Occasionally it can be a pest. So if you're going for 100% with that, I don't like it. But other than that, it's just a smooth open world that you can explore, and it's perfectly fine. Who was after Gali Nuva? I think it was Pohatu Nuva. I can't remember which one came first, Pohatu or Onua. Actually, Onua came first. Onua Nuva. Onua Nuva's level, if I recall correctly, because it's been a very long time since, one, I've played this game, and two, I haven't played past Gali Nuva all that much. Actually, I think when I did the Let's Play, that was like the second or third time I got past Gali Nuva. So, yeah. Onua Nuva's level is pretty standard, just like Tahu's level, but I think Tahu's level was better designed. And Onua Nuva's is just basic. Next up we have Pohatu Nuva. It starts off pretty good, and then it goes to annoying as hell. What I mean by this is, it starts off that you're doing basic platforming, just for like 2 minutes. Well, a minute, I say. And then you have to go onto a forever moving... you're going through a tunnel that loops around, and you have to hit every single emergency switch in order to progress. Progress. That's annoying to do in one life. I hated that level when I was a kid, as well as the one with Kopaka, because I didn't know what to do to start off with, and when I did know what to do, it was incredibly hard. Next up, we have Lewa Nuva. Lewa Nuva, his gimmick, since he's the air element of the Bionicles, was that he gets to fly with the Goku birds, which leave behind a trail of gust that he can go and fly. If you're out of that for a split second, you're almost guaranteed to die. Because what you need to do is stay directly behind the Goku bird, and he can only glide for a certain amount of time. I could understand that, oh, he glides, and then, if you're too low to get the Goku bird's gust, you just slowly glide down. But what it does, which is the real challenge of it, you can only glide on your own for like 2-3 seconds. If you get out of the Goku bird's gust for just a second and then go back in it, you still only have 1 second to glide on your own. So if you would go out again, then go back in, very slim chance you're going to succeed, because if you go out even slightly, you're dead. Because he can't glide anymore, apparently. I never understood that. I still don't understand it, and it was hell in my Let's Play. Next up, if I remember correctly, is Tahu Nuva. which Tahu Nuva's is very similar to Kopaka's, except it's a race. You're not racing, you're not going and actually trying to beat the boss. You're trying to race him to Takoro, which is where Tahu lives. And you're trying to prevent the Rockshi from getting there before you get... There. You're trying to get to Takoro before the Rockshi, which is the enemy, gets there. So you need to get there before the Rockshi. Which, it sounds easy, but it kind of isn't. And after that, we have the person that's on the title, Takanuva. This guy. So Takanuva, it's just a final boss battle. He's got a lot of energy, which is your attacking, what you use to attack with. But other than that, it's a basic boss fight. And other than that, I like every single level except for Kopaka, Tahu Nuva, and Pohatu Nuva. The others check out in either good ways, like Tahu's and Anua Nuva's, or they're absolute, or I'm kind of indifferent about them, like Gali Nuva and Tahu Nuva. But overall, I think that Bionicle is a good game. Would I recommend it to people who just started video games? Probably not. I wouldn't recommend this. This wouldn't be my first to go and say, hey, try this game out. It's really good. I wouldn't be doing that to start off with. I would say start off with a Mario game. And then once you go and say, oh, I'm getting pretty good at platformers and racers and things like that, like Mario Kart and Mario 3D Land and things like that, then I would go and say, hey, check out Bionicle. It's got its gimmicks to it, and some of them are incredibly frustrating, like in Lewa Nuva's. But I still think it's a very good game. It's good overall, but I can see if people don't like the game. So, again, this game is very sentimental to me. I don't know why I got rid of it at one point in my life. Probably because I beat the game, but I like going back to games that I have beaten. Sly Cooper is an incredible example of that. Because Sly Cooper is my favorite series of all time. And I go back to those games quite often. Because you guys have probably already seen that with the... Because Sly 1 and 2 are on my Let's Play channel as well as Sli's 1, 2, and 3 on my regular channel. But, yeah. Bionicle overall, I think, is a pretty good game. It's got its faults, it's got its gimmicks, it's got those annoying levels, but I still think it's a pretty good game. Not the best. I've played better. A lot better. But overall, I think Bionicle is passable as a game. It's not buggy like some games where it's like, oh, these glitches add to the difficulty of the game, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. No. Bionicle does not do that. Bionicle is programmed correctly. And overall, it's good. I say it's good. I love the game, but I can see all the faults with it. So, that's my review of Bionicle, the game. Well, on the Gamecube, at least. I know it's on the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox as well, and also on the Game Boy Advance, which don't even bring that up. I don't like that game on the Game Boy Advance. It is horrid. But other than that, this has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably going to be another review, because my work schedule. But this has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.